with Jake and Joy. We are so excited to share this episode with you because this is a recipe that I have been making since Jake was like a little tiny baby. And this is something that we've been eating kind of on and off for her entire life, not my entire life. We got introduced to this recipe. It's a muesli recipe, and I know you can buy pre-made muesli at lots of stores out there, and they can be good for you, but making your own muesli with our recipe is going to change your life. Seriously.
Mine too.
Yours too. Absolutely. In fact, Charity loves this dish, and we're going to send some of it home with you today, Derek, so you're going to love it. So Jake, talk a little bit about the muesli. We got this recipe from John Bastyr Naturopathic College. I actually got it from my doctor, Dr. Bruce Milliman, and he just thought that it would be a great tonic for us to be using on a regular basis. And Jake has actually taken this further than I have. I have kind of gotten away from eating muesli, but she begged me to make this recipe, and so we're doing it today.
I did.
So
Yeah. So we've taken John Bastyr's recipe and sort of tweaked it a little bit. There's some things that we've added and things that we've taken out. And why I love it is because I have it every single morning, and so I know that no matter what else I do for the rest of the day in terms of eating, I've gotten this really awesome, full, dense meal in the morning, and I love it before a workout. It's really awesome. So it's got what's cool about it is that it's not some basic pre-made store-bought muesli. It's got stuff that you probably have never even heard of before.
Yeah, and the thing of it is that when you make it fresh, you especially if you're buying your grains in bulk, you're getting the freshest product that you can possibly make, unless you went out and actually cut down the oats and process it all yourself. But the thing of it is that you have to commit to eating it regularly because it starts to change your gut. And we talk a lot about your microbiome, and when you start to give your microbiome a prebiotic as well as a probiotic, which is what you're going to get when you use this, and in fact, it's really a great delivery system for a probiotic. Like if you make your own yogurt, which we're going to do in this season, which is going to be so exciting. You're going to be so excited about that. But you're going to, you want to start to change your microbiome and do it every day. So should we get started?
Yes.
Okay. So what's the first ingredient?
Ground milk thistle. And this is probably one you haven't.
Actually, here's.
Well, I'm going by the recipe.
Okay, well, don't go by the recipe.
Oats.
Yeah. So what I want to do is we're going to make a huge batch of this, and if you want, you can cut it in half, but we're going to make the full size. And so I use a great big bowl like this. You can use a paper bag. That's how I used to make it, but I like to keep it in. This is a Tupperware cake maker. If you don't have one, you need to have one of these because they're fantastic.
One thing I want to say, I actually want to ask you about it. This is ad-libbing. This is not
like not even the rest of our show.
All scripted.
Yeah, we script the whole thing.
What the hell's going on?
We didn't talk about this before, but
like we talk about everything
before.
Else. Yeah.
So my husband was suggesting that when you buy bulk oats or other bulk things, that you freeze them for a day first to make sure that you don't get rid of anything that might be living in your grains. That can then, because I lost quite a bit of one of the batches that I made of this because there was, when they transport this amount of oats, you can sometimes get things in them, and so if you freeze it, you avoid.
Well, you could do it after you make it too. Number one.
So you could make it and then freeze it for a day, so you make sure that you've got it killed all the.
Right.
I know it's kind of gross, but just to something to.
Well, the other thing though too is that if you're vegan, and it's a way that you're actually getting more protein. I don't have an issue about. I really don't.
I just don't like to see it when I open it. I'm not interested in seeing things in there.
Yes, I wouldn't want to see it.
So that was my husband's suggestion, was to freeze it.
And so you could freeze it. You could also store it in smaller containers because you don't know if those came from the bulk thing or if they came from your house.
Right, you don't know.
So you really don't know. So, right. But that's a really good idea.
But they're inside airtight jars. So that's what had us.
Yeah, although I just had airtight jars with oatmeal and it molded.
Oh, interesting.
So that was when I was preparing for this. Okay,
we're back on track.
We're back on track. We're going to use 4 pounds of oats. That's a lot. You want to get those oats? Show them how pretty they are. Look how pretty oats are. Now we use just the regular. You can use thick cut if you want, but we just use regular organic oats. And what I like to do is either put all of it in right away or half of it, because then we're going to add oat bran, and we're going to put in 2 pounds of oat bran. And you probably don't eat oat bran on a regular basis, but that's what's going to scrub the inside of your intestines.
Yes, I want to talk about oat bran actually.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're gonna this season we're really going to dig into some of the health benefits of the things that we're using, and especially if you've never used oat bran or milk thistle, you're like, why should I add that? So oat bran reduces the risk of heart disease. helps keep your bowels healthy, which is really, really, really
That means
important.
it helps you poop.
And it's really high in antioxidants. Okay, so that we know that's really important for so antioxidants are so important for so many things, including reducing inflammation in our body, which is what the cause of most diseases, almost all diseases, is inflammation. Antioxidants really help to fight.
You know,
against
if we want to go back to like packaging, I thought you were going to talk about the plastic that we put this in. If you want to get really like, you know, like into it, bring your own containers. You have to ask them to measure them, to weigh them first before you put the stuff in it. But bring bring a cloth bag.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I do. I bring cloth bags.
But the thing that I like to do is that I have Reiki all over me, and so I'm perfect. Nothing's going to hurt me. But so the more good stuff that you can do, the better. So I am mixing this just by hand, and if you want to add more oat bran, I used to make this with 3 pounds of oat bran. The recipe, when I pulled up the recipe, because I usually make this, I've been making this since you were born.
Yeah.
So like 12 years.
Yeah.
I've been making this for over 30 years, and when she was little, I used to mix it with this pineapple coconut juice. It was so good, and you loved it. Like when you were just a little baby, you ate this.
Yeah. So if you have a bulk store, we have a store called Winco where they have like everything you could ever possibly imagine in bulk, which is awesome. But if you don't have something like that, you might have to order some of these things on Amazon.
Right.
So like I had to order the Lecithin. I couldn't find that anywhere, so I just ordered it from Amazon.
Well, I got this from Whole Foods. So
here's this Lecithin
so this is a
granules.
pound of lecithin. And lecithin's great. Some people take it as a capsule, but to get it into your diet every day, talk about lecithin and what it does to you, because it's a lot of people don't know about lecithin.
Yeah, so lecithin, it actually helps to lower cholesterol. So if you're dealing with cholesterol issues, it'll help to lower cholesterol. Helps with heart health. Helps with digestion. Helps fight dementia, which is really amazing.
It's good for me to know.
Yeah, helps with skin health.
It's expensive, so you want to make sure you get every little last piece of it.
That is way too loud. Helps with skin health. And then what's really cool is it aids in mothers who are breastfeeding and helps to produce more breast milk. So if you're someone who's struggling to produce enough milk, you should add some lecithin. Just add the muesli to your diet.
And this is expensive to buy this way, so if you can get it in bulk, it's way better. When I lived up in Washington, I could get it in bulk. Yeah. They were way more granola-y.
You should show what that looks like.
Oh, you want to show? Okay. Oh, it's too late. Well, no, you can see
the yellow. It almost looks like couscous, kind of. The yellow.
The hell is couscous?
Yellow grain. We don't eat it.
Yeah, couscous is. It looks like. It almost looks like risotto, but it's made from wheat, and it's delicious.
So we make risotto this season?
We are going to make risotto. We're going to make mushroom risotto. It's going to be delicious with cauliflower. No, not with cauliflower. Not with cauliflower.
Derek's favorite.
Poor Derek. He doesn't have a mic on this season, and he's going to have to shout if he wants to be heard. Okay, what's next?
Okay, so I want to talk about the milk thistle now.
Where is the milk thistle? Okay.
I brought this. Now, typically you want to get milk thistle that's not already ground. Did
you buy this ground?
I bought it ground. I thought it's the only option I could find on Amazon. So
Frontier makes, they package the whole thing, and that's what I usually do, and I freeze that. I buy it in bulk and freeze it, but I didn't do it in time. Is this the right amount?
No, half a pound. I don't know. I didn't measure it.
You didn't measure it?
No, that's all I had. I brought the whole thing.
It doesn't matter how much milk thistle you put in. Half a pound is a prophylactic amount. More than that is a therapeutic amount.
Okay.
You say prophylactic?
Yeah, like a condom. I know that's what you were thinking. Prophylactic means preventative. Did you know that? How many kids do you have?
But the reason that you want to get things not pre-ground is that you lose some of the nutrient density when you do that. So if you can get things whole, flax seeds, which you're going to be adding, anything that you can get whole and ground once you're going to use them, they're going to have more health benefits for you.
And you can actually leave the flax in whole. You don't have to grind the flax, and I often do leave it whole.
Well, let me talk about the milk thistle. So it helps improve skin health, liver health, reduces cholesterol also. So a lot of the ingredients in this recipe help reduce cholesterol. Supports weight loss because it's a pretty good source of fiber, and reduces insulin resistance, which is really, really, really huge.
I take milk thistle every day.
In a capsule?
Yeah, in a capsule. But I'm going to, like, every time I make muesli, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start eating this again. Because it's so good for you. Like, when I was competing in aerobics, if you don't know, I was a national aerobics champion in 1992.
We'll do some.
Yeah.
I have that, Cynthia. I have all of them, actually. I don't know if that would look so good on me anymore. You can see the video. I have it on my Facebook page, so you can see the video. Okay.
I think the thing that has people stop eating muesli is that once you're out, it feels like a big thing to make it.
It is a big thing.
So you make so much, like once you run out, you're like, oh, it's such a hassle to make it again. Yeah. Yeah. So that's
give me the rest of the stuff.
So now we're gonna do ground flax seeds. We're gonna do them whole.
Well, let me just show you what they look like whole, and we can grind them. Probably not on camera, but you can just use. I have a grinder that I use just for seeds, and that's what these are golden ones. You can also get dark ones. But I think I will. Do you think I should grind them? You want them ground?
No, put them in whole.
Put them in whole?
They're
Okay.
They're in whole.
Yeah, they're fine whole. And how much are we going to use
Half
of that?
a pound.
Half a pound. So this is a pound. So I'm going to use about half of that. We're going to put a lot of different seeds in here, and that's kind of the cool thing about it.
The one thing that this recipe calls for that we don't do is it calls for wheat germ, but we don't do wheat. We don't do gluten, and a lot of people have an allergy, so we take that out and we just add more seeds. Chia seeds or whatever. You can add
Where are
seeds
those
if
chia
you want.
seeds? I think they're off camera.
They are off camera. So then we're gonna do sliced almonds.
Now, once again, it's better to get these whole and slice them, but in
That's
the
a pain
interest
in the
of
ass.
time, it is a pain in the
To
ass.
slice your own almonds? No, thank you. I'm never gonna do that.
But it's better. They're actually better for you when you cut them yourself. Anytime you get a pre-cut thing, you've already lost some of the nutritional value. How much of the almonds? Half a pound. So this is a half a pound. So we're gonna dump all of that in.
Okay.
And then how much?
Half a pound of sunflower or pumpkin seeds. We're doing pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, I like pumpkin seeds because I like the color of them, and they're also really, really, really good for you. One thing that I forgot, because I haven't made this for so long, is that if you want to get all this stuff mixed into it, you might want to put like half of the oats and half of the oat bran in first, then mix it, and then add the other half.
And the best way to mix it is to use your hands. So if you have an issue with that, or you're gonna give it away, you can use some. You can use like a salad. We're just gonna eat this, so we're gonna use our
So
hands.
how many
half
pumpkin
a pound.
seeds? Half a pound, so about half of this jar.
Yeah.
But none of this is like hard and fast because does it really matter if you get too many pumpkin seeds or too much flax? It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you get some in every bite that you're having.
Yeah, and then we have raisins. And
no, those are currants.
Currants. I couldn't tell if they were currants or
raisins.
raisins.
So currants have
currants and cranberries.
Yeah, and currants have actually different properties than raisins do. So I like to add both the currants and some fresh dried cranberries.
Yeah.
The problem with dried cranberries is that you can't really get them unsweetened, which kind of drives me crazy. But you can't. Yeah. You also want to make sure that you get these.
You can get them some that are sweetened with apple juice.
You can?
Yeah.
Where do you get those?
At our regular grocery store in the bulk section, but they look. They're not like flattened like these ones are. They're kind of like almost like bigger pieces. So they're not quite the same, but at least you can do that instead.
The big thing you have to make sure about putting dried fruit in is that it gets broken up. Yeah. And Derek, can you hand me the chia seeds behind you in that green package? And that's rice. The light green package?
Yeah,
yes,
that's
there
the
you
one.
go. Good job.
Yeah, I'm part of the show now.
Chia seeds. We're gonna put in.
It doesn't really call for chia seeds, but we're just adding them because they're good for you.
You could throw hemp seeds in there. You could throw anything you want in there. And when you guys have heard us talk about the concept of G-bombs before.
The concept of G-bombs. Let me test you on that.
Which is the idea that you should be getting every single day. You should be trying to get greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. And so seeds. I'm always like, how the heck am I getting seeds in my diet? So this is a way to get seeds in every single day if you eat this every morning.
Well, I put seeds in like shakes when I have them. I put seeds in salad. You put seeds in salad?
Yeah, sometimes.
Not always?
No.
Anyway, so we're going to mix all of this up. And like Jake said, it'd be a good idea to freeze it. I never thought of that, but I'm going to do that with this.
Yeah.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a half a cup of it and soak it. And you have
when
to
you eat it.
When you eat it, yeah. So you're going to take a half a cup of it and soak it for a half an hour. Sometimes I do it overnight.
Yeah, I soak it overnight. Because if I know I'm not going to have a half an hour in the morning to wait before I eat, if I'm going to be in a hurry, I soak it overnight so that I can just eat it right away.
Yeah, and I did that when you were little.
And the reason to soak it is?
Because it breaks down the oats so that your body can actually digest it. If you eat raw oats, it's really not very good for your body.
So it's like if you're eating store-bought muesli, you should be soaking that as well. If you buy muesli at the store, you should be soaking it. I don't think it even tells you to do that, but you should be soaking it for a little bit.
Probably not. But they probably don't even use whole oats anyway. I don't know.
Some of the ones I've seen they do.
But I've seen it like served at at the breakfast bar at hotels, and they don't say to soak it, but you really should soak oats before you eat them. That's why a lot of people cook oats, but when you cook it, you're going to kill the enzymatic activity that's in the oats when you want that. So it's better to soak it.
Right.
Soak it for half an hour.
So then once it's all mixed, you can store it either in one big thing, or I save jars like when I buy pickles and different things. So I keep the store muesli in a bunch of different sizes of jars. And then that way I can pull one jar at a time, so it's like easier to get access to. And then you want to make sure that you're storing the bulk of it in a cool, dark place because you don't want things to start growing.
Right. But I think it's a good idea to probably put some in the freezer and do that.
Yeah.
And so I'm just doing this by sight. I'm putting I want it to look pretty. I want to see lots of green. I want to see lots of red. Because all those colors are doing something for your body, and that's really a good thing.
And if you don't have an issue with wheat and you want to put the wheat germ in, that's totally up to
you can also put in brewer's yeast.
Yeah, brewer's yeast. That's one of the things I said.
Yeah, tons. There's just so many different things. I think of this dish as a delivery system for all the things that are good for you.
Yeah.
And then after you've soaked it for half an hour, I like to put coconut milk yogurt, which is in this season, making your own coconut milk yogurt. And then I like to top it with blueberries, raspberries, mangoes. Just make it a bowl of goodness. It's just the best way to start your day. And then also, we work for a company that makes a whole food a powder that you can make shakes out of. You can make pancakes out of it. And I like to put it in this because that adds, if I have muesli with our complete, it is
it's like 50 plants.
Yeah, and it's like my day is done. I can just eat pizza for the rest of the day.
You're set.
You're good to go. So that's it. That's our muesli recipe that we kind of stole from John Bastyr, but we made it better. We made it Jake Enjoys, and this is the product of eating muesli every day, your whole life. Look how beautiful she is. That's all we got for today. Stay tuned for our next episode of Cook with Jake and Joy. See ya.
Bye, guys.